Welcome to another video. This video is going to focus on building an annotated bibliography. As you can see in the AP profile project, I have provided a few slides on, and I will provide a video that discusses the overall project soon. But for this video, I'm just going to go ahead and focus on how to build it, how to make it, what it looks like, so you can get this part out of the way. Hopefully you have decided on your thesis statement, or you will decide on it by tomorrow. In the video soon, I will explain what the thesis statement looks like. I do have one in this video as well, so hopefully it helps. What you're doing when you build an annotated bibliography is you're providing rhetorical analysis of the source. Rhetorical analysis focuses on its credibility and its meaning for the overall topic that you have decided upon and the angle that you're researching. In this, you are going to have one paragraph. It's going to be roughly 75 to 100 words of source analysis. You're going to focus on the credibility of the source, and you're going to sell the source to the reader as something that is meaningful and should be used. The steps that I'm going to follow here, I'm going to create a reference using Noodle Tools Express. I'm going to add a paragraph after the reference with a hanging indents. I'm going to maintain formal diction. No quotations and no citations inside of the paragraph are necessary. You can reference something from the source, but you are not expected to be specific. I do have an example on this slide right here that I pulled this from a student, and this is what the overall paper will look like when you have an annotated bibliography. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a sample now. Let's imagine my person was Edgar Allan Poe. This person obviously would not be selected for this project because everyone knows Edgar Allan Poe. But imagine I wanted to use him as my profile because of a problem that is seen. So I've written out some notes on this page right here. And the question I'm answering is, what do people need to know about my profile's subject? The subject here is that they have written something with Gothic works such as The Black Cat and The Raven. You might have read Edgar Allan Poe's literary works earlier, but what people don't really understand is that other areas of his life should also be focused on. One of them is that he invented the modern detective story, and the other one was he was the world's first professional critic, someone who actually made their money off of not just writing literary works, but criticizing others who had written literary works. So my thesis statement is my answer to the question, what do people need to know? While Edgar Allan Poe's notable horror and suspense works solidify him as a great American author, his innovative detective stories and lifestyle as the first professional literary critic should also be acknowledged by students. That's my argument. My argument is there's a problem. Here's the solution. The rhetorical analysis I have here is going to be found in source ethos, which is going to be in the annotated bibliography, and the synthesis portion of this project is going to be your evidence gathering in APA. What I had to do is I had to find a source that provided me information about his life, and I did. I found the Poe Museum, and there is a section in the Poe Museum that focuses on his biography, provides more information about his life, and as I'm reading through this, I'm thinking to myself, this is useful. I can use this in my research paper and my presentation PowerPoint because I believe it is credible and it does relate to what I want to tell my audience. All right, now that this is done, I need to make sure that I can create a reference from this. I went to Noodle Tools Express. I'm going to select APA. The citation type I'm going to have is a website. Create citation. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. Is there a date of publication? As I look on this page, I do not see any dates that indicate when it was updated or created, so I leave that blank. I did get this today, so April 9th, 2020. Is there an author? Can I find an author anywhere? Either a set of authors, an individual author. I don't see anyone, so I leave that blank as well. What is the web page or document article title? It is called biography. Also, when you see this little note off to the right, it says capitalized sentence style. Only the first letter of the first word in the title and any subtitle should be capitalized. Everything else is lowercase. I only have one word, but if it were going to be biography of an author, you can see that I'm not going to capitalize that. But it's just a biography. And what is the name of the website? The name of the website is the Poe Museum. All right. Once that is done, you go ahead and click on Save. And there it is. That's going to be the reference for this source. The next step I'm going to follow through with is I'm going to go ahead and create a new Word document because my annotated bibliography is not going to be on the template yet. You just open up Word, create a blank document. Because this does need to be in MLA, I am going to first change the font to Times New Roman. I'm going to change the font size to 12. I'm going to open up that paragraph option right here. Make sure it says 0000, so decrease that. And it is going to be in double. So once that is done, I'm going to center. So when I center, so centering looks like it's in the middle, it's going to be called an annotated bibliography. I hit enter and I put it back over to the left right there, or Control L will also do it. Okay. So everything is set. Let's go ahead and paste. When you copy and paste from the website, from Noodle Tools, you need to make sure that when you paste it, you put it into the document using merge formatting. Merge formatting makes it look like it is supposed to look like Times New Roman 12 double spaced. If you were just Control V, it would look like that. Okay, that will not work. So merge formatting, and we're good to go. I can hit enter. It makes that blue. That's just fine. And now I'm ready to write my annotation for this. What you need to do is now you need to make sure that this has a hanging indent. Well, how do you do that? Highlight the reference that you've just pasted. Click on the little box right there. Then click on Special, go down Hanging. Click OK. So I should be able to hit Enter. Oh, didn't quite do it. Let's try that again. And Tab. So here, I will write the annotation. And then you just keep on going. And you can see that it lines up like it's supposed to. The entire paragraph is going to be underneath the first line. If this citation kept on going, then it would just follow underneath that line. Everything stays indented all the way down. When I'm ready to write my new reference, I'll have a new reference right there, and then I'll just keep on going and make another annotation. So when you take a look at that PowerPoint right here, you can see that every line is indented over. It all follows underneath. And that's what it should look like. If you have problems making this, let me know. There are plenty of samples online, instructions, but I can definitely help you out. So that's what the annotation formatting is going to look like. And you're going to have 6 of these. You're going to have 6 references, 6 websites that you found, and then you're going to have an annotation underneath. And it's going to be in alphabetical order. What does it actually look like to write an annotation, though? What's in the annotation? That's a good question. So I've already written one out here from the Poe Museum. As you saw earlier, my goal is to educate people on that Poe should be considered not only for his Gothic works, but also the fact that he innovated a new way of storytelling, and also he was a first literary critic. I want people to understand those 2 facts. So why should people believe that this is even a credible source to begin with? Well, I went ahead and I went through and I took a look at it. Okay, at the Poe Museum, but anyone can make their own museum. But I see it's an actual location. You can apparently buy tickets, and it's open today from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to click in the menu. I'm going to go to About the Museum. History of the Museum. And I'm going to read up a little bit about it. Because there was no author. There was no date. That should be kind of an indicator that maybe it might not be a great source, but we can see here that the museum itself is over 100 years old. It is nonprofit. It does have shrines and other information here. You can become a member. So it does look like that there is credibility afforded to this website for at least the purposes of the project. So I decided to go with it. Let me go back to the original. I read through the source, made sure that there's information here I could use. All right, so in my paragraph, I need to get people to believe that the source is useful and that it does respond to my statements. So I say, the Poe Museum offers a variety of notable facts and background regarding Edgar Allan Poe, and despite its lack of author attribution or data publication, should still be considered credible because the website represents a century-old museum founded by the Poe Memorial Association, which I found in the background information. This website provides information corresponding to the notion that Poe's worth as an author stems not only from his Gothic works, but to his innovations in detective writing involvement with professional literary criticisms. The Poe Museum operates as a nonprofit, so information bias is minimized. This is just a sampling of what I could have included in this paragraph. There's a lot of creativity that is involved with this, but what you need to get people to understand is there's information in here that applies to your thesis statements, and the overall website is worthwhile. If there's an author, does the author have credibility? Does the overall website itself have credibility? Are there minimal ads? Are there links with information that supports everything that's in here? How do you know what you're looking at is true and honest? You only need to include 75 to 100 words worth of writing. If you want to make sure that you have included enough, remember, you can highlight what you write. And if you look at the bottom left, it says 90 of 98 words. So this is 90 words, which meets the criteria. If you write over, that's fine. If you write under, that's not fine. It needs to be at least 75 words. Okay, but please do not write over 125. Otherwise, it's just too much. All right, so that is what it looks like to actually have an annotated bibliography reference. This right here is demonstrating you can examine the rhetorical aspects of something. Do they use logos, pathos, ethos? You can actually use that in this description, but I'll leave that up to you. All right, so once this gets done, you're going to have 6 of these. It is going to say at the top, I didn't put it in this little sample here, it is going to say annotated bibliography at the top. You are eventually going to change this to references when you have your full research paper, but for now, this is just what you need to have. It is going to be in alphabetical order based on the first letter, so make sure that is done. Hopefully this helps you create your annotated bibliography. If you have questions or concerns about this, please let me know. Remember, there are plenty of examples online, including the ones I have put in the PowerPoint, and you can always email me for additional assistance. Thank you.